Okay, hi. So yesterday I was chatting on Skype with a friend from New York, and I know there's a lot of differences in every country has their own language, and even like English speaking languages have their own takes on particular words and phrases. But it wasn't until my friend and I were discussing them and comparing different words and stuff that I realized just how many there are. Yes, technically we speak the same language, but there are so many differences, you could be forgiven for thinking it is another language. So here are a few that we were talking about yesterday. When it comes to cars, you pop the hood. We don't call it a hood, we call it a bonnet. And we don't pop the trunk at the back. We don't call it a trunk, we call it a boot. No idea why. What you call a truck, we call a ute, which is short for utility. And with a baby, you put the diaper on a baby. Yeah, we don't call them diapers here, we call them nappies. And what do you put in a baby's mouth? A pacifier, right? Yeah, I think if you said pacifier in Australia, most people would be like, what the fuck is that? We actually call it a dummy. And I'm not kidding, that's it, that's what we call it. You go to the gas station, we go to the service station, which is odd because people don't really get their cars serviced there anymore anyway. And then because Australians are so big on slang, we don't even call it a service station, we just call it a servo. You go to the grocery store, we go to the supermarket. You walk down the sidewalk, we walk down the footpath. You park in the parking lot, we park in a car park. You wear a sweater, we call it a jumper. You call it a soda, we call it soft drink. Which I think originated from like liquor being a hard drink and then your mixers being soft. I guess that's where that came from. But we don't really call it soda. Oh, and then there's your shopping cart, which we call a trolley. Oh, there are so many. Oh, and what you call a cookie, we call a biscuit. And that's even more confusing because what you call a biscuit is what we call a scone, except we don't pronounce it scone, we can pronounce it scone. Well, we actually spell it the same, S-C-O-N-E, but it sounds like S-C-O-N, scone. Think Tron. Scones while watching Tron. I'm sure there are millions of others, and then there's like England, and they've got a whole nother set of words and phrases and stuff altogether, which I don't know about. But it's fun, I like the differences and stuff. But what I think's funny is, like, in Australia, our media is all American really. Like, we get a lot of American TV and all the movies are here and like the music and everything. So we fully understand the American English language. What I was talking about before, you talk about cookies and diapers and pacifiers and all that stuff, and we know exactly what you're talking about. Yet I think if we went over to New York and just started talking our regular Australian English language, talking about dummies in a baby, wearing a nappy, after you put all the junk in the boot of the car, you'd be looking at us like, what planet are you from? Oh, and wouldn't you know it, the camera died right there. But that's okay, I was pretty much done anyway. So what I want to do is I want to tag a couple of people, but I don't know how to do that or what that really means. First person is Roland in England. I want you to make a video like this one, sort of like giving a few examples of unique phrases or words from your region or what you find different about the way that people speak in your part of the world compared to other parts of the English speaking world, if that makes sense. And the other person is Charles, Tender Charles, who's in Canada. I'd be interested to hear the differences between your language. I'm not talking about, okay, that sounds so weird because Charles actually speaks French and English. I'm talking about the English part of, you know what I mean. So I don't know how to tag you, but if you want to make a video, then make it like a response to this one, and that'll be a fun little game we can play. So yeah, okay, that'll do. Okay, bye.
Ooh, it's so thick and salty.